Welcome people to another vlog, and this one should be a semi-quick vlog depending on how much detail I go into. This is going to be the last project build for West Coast, and it's a refurbishing vlog. What we're working on are my imitation stained glass light boxes that I've had in my haunt for a couple years. There's a vlog up on YouTube on my channel somewhere showing how I put these together. We decided, like with the fireplace, itchy nose, sorry. Like with the fireplace, we were going to sell these. Main reason, especially on these light boxes, last year we did a meet and greet down at West Coast just for the day. And we took a bunch of our props down. We took down some of the other light boxes I've made, had them plugged in, people were seeing them, and they were wanting to buy them. They were very, very interested in the light boxes down there. So I figured I'd take my fancier ones down. Now, for refurbishing these have been out in the haunt, what is it, 2 years, 3 years now? And they're showing a little bit of wear and tear. You know, the paint's scuffed off on the foam here and there. You know, from them rubbing together, having people rubbing up against them and stuff. So I want to go through it, and I need to touch up the paint on these. I also want to get in here, and the plexiglass in there needs to be, I need to get it kind of cleaned up, freshened up a little bit. And then I've got a design change here on the back. When I did the back cover, I just used some scrap plywood. Now, I don't want to sell them in that condition with these on there. So, what I did is I went down and bought these. So I'm going to put these on the back of all the boxes. And they need to get painted white before I put them on, and I can attach them to the boxes. And I've got the other four here. All four of the light boxes need the same treatment. They need to be cleaned up, touched up. I want to double check my lights and stuff on the inside, make sure everything's working just right and stuff. And then we're going to be selling them at West Coast. They'll come with a 1 amp wall wart to power them, along with the sensors and a remote, you know, so you can change color. And you can go through, I think there's like 12 different colors. You can make them chase, fade in and out, what have you. You know, we can customize them and stuff. So, and we're thinking right now, off the top of my head, we're thinking around $200, anywhere from $175 up to $200 a pop for them, because there is a lot of work in doing this section here. So, but anyway, that's what we're working on now. It's going to be refurbishing these, and I think my first step is to get my new 1/8 inch backer boards out. I'm going to get these painted white, and I'm going to set those off to the side, let them dry while I'm dismantling the backs of these and cleaning these up. So white painting next. Okay, we got the new backboards cut down to fit the frame, and they've been painted white. I gotta let them dry before I can go any further with them, which is basically just putting them on the light boxes. Now I got the first one out, and it's the red dragon. You've seen the back side of it. And what I did is I used some RGB lighting strip. In other words, there's little squares mounted onto that every so often that have a real tiny red, green, and blue LED on it. That's how you're getting your different colors with the remote. I wanted to take the back off and take a good look at it. I wanted to make sure, you know, I haven't had these open for several years, and there's some dust and stuff which I can get cleaned out, no problem. But I wanted to make sure the lights were fitting okay. To put the lights in, I just put a dab of hot glue and press the strip into it. And it looks like it's holding good. There's none of it's let loose. I have noticed that the lights, due to the heat, have stretched a little bit, you know, so they're bubbling out. So I'm going to go back through here with some hot glue and just kind of tack them back down into place a little bit. They really don't need it, but it's something I want to do. You know, just maintenance type stuff. So right now, I gotta do the hot glue on the lights, and then I need to get these ringlets out that I use for hanging these too. And I'm gonna take those out. for the moment. They'll be going back in, but in a different way. Alright, same day, just a little bit later in the day. Made some progress. I got the backboard mounted on. We got what lights needed to be hot glued a little bit more done. I've also gone back over and I've repainted the trim and touched up the gray on the trim up here. What I have left to do is I need to go through and clean up the face. With a little bit of Windex will do that. And I need to get back in here on the grout lines and recoat those in black. And then I need to get the hanging bolts back on. That's going to be for another day. Right now I'm going to set this off to the side and let it dry. It's easier to work on it when you're not having to mess with wet paint. So I'm going to let it dry until tomorrow, or till I get the other 4 light boxes to the stage, and then I can come back through. I'll touch up the grout lines, put the mounting brackets back on, wipe down the front, and they'll be finished. Well, welcome to the next day. It's Tuesday. I was able to get 3 done. They've all got the new backer boards on, and I've touched up around the edge and touched up the scrape marks on the foam. Starting on the 4th one, I got the backer on it, and the LED lights on the inside of it were fine, so they didn't need any work. And this is one I was never really satisfied with. It was supposed to be a purple dragon in here, and I used, I had gone down to, what was it, Craft Warehouse. It was one of those craft supply places here in town. And originally picked up some stained glass paint, you know, for making your little sun catchers and stuff. And I used a purple out of that, and it was so light and so faint you really couldn't tell. And I'd always meant to go back through and redo it with some just regular paint, which is what I did on those. And I never did. So I figured, well, I'm going to be selling these. I've got to paint the outside trim, and as you can see, there's a lot of scuff marks on this one. I figure I'll go ahead and redo the dragon. So I'm currently working on that. So this one's going to take a little bit longer to do. Okay, we got the first stage done. We've opened up the back of these, checked the LEDs, the RGB lighting, not LEDs, but RGB lighting in there. They're all okay. I've attached the new backing onto the back of them, and we've gone through and touched up the gray. Next step, next to last step actually, is I've got to come through here on the grout lines and clean all the grout lines up, which just means paintbrush, a little bit of black paint, go and just redo all the grout lines. It doesn't take long. The way this is going, we just might have this project done today, if not first thing tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm putting the finishing touches on the light boxes. The last thing I need to do is put the mounting screws in, which I've got these done. I've got the chain on them for hanging. I did one alteration. Originally, you might be able to see that hole right there. That's where the eyelet used to be at. And I'm putting them on the back. Basic reason is I found when I hung them, with the eyelets out on the side out here, the bottom end of the box would hang out from the wall about 2 to 3 inches. Just because it was getting pinched by the chains and everything. So I decided I'd put them back here, and I'll let the boxes hang flush that way. So I've got one done, I've got 4 more to do, and then the project's for the most part finished, except for my helper's out here to bother me.
Hello.
So I don't know how much more work I'm going to get. Who knows? Alright, now the project's done, I've got a backdrop set up, and it's time to get some photographs of this so I can get them up on the Haunted Treasures page. But I thought you might want to see again what they look like, because I haven't shown any pictures of them after being done working on them since I made the things. Now I should mention each panel comes complete. That's where you hook your sensor and power up to. It has the hanging brackets on the back, but it also comes with one of these, and this is the remote, or the sensor for the remote. It comes with a remote, and that has the wall wart, or power adapter in it. So each light box will come with that. That way you can change colors. But let's get this thing plugged in so I can get this done and get this stuff put away. Well, that's it, folks. Project's done. I told you it was going to be a quickie. So with that, we're going to say, stay spooky and stay toxic at West Coast Hunters Convention.